Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the Recovering America's Wildlife Act. And I know some people are already like, yeah, it's been reintroduced. Has bipartisan support. It has been reintroduced. For those that don't know, this has come up before and it didn't make it. But there's another chance here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what it is, what it would do, and why we need it. We'll start with why we need it. According to the National Wildlife Foundation, about a third of all of America's wildlife has an elevated risk of extinction. About a third. That's huge. Keep in mind, when species go, changes the environment. When species go, they often impact other species because there's a lack of food or something, and you get a domino effect. The warning signs are there, and we have the opportunity to do something about it before it is out of control. But we have to take the opportunity. There are state-level plans for assisting in bringing wildlife back. The problem is the federal government offers funding for this through a grant program that totals $65 million a year, roughly. It's nowhere near enough. It is not enough money. And this is one of those situations where, people say you can't solve everything by throwing money at it. In this case, the problem is a lack of funding. Yes, throwing money at it would be super helpful. So, what does the act do? The main thing it does is that it creates that funding, $1.4 billion a year to go out to the various states and tribal governments and everything. It creates the source of funding to work to address the issue. And as far as what the funding would go to, it would go to helping mitigate disease among species. It would help reestablish migration routes. It would help control invasive species. That's what the money's for. If you want Native American wildlife to survive, these are things you kind of have to do. And it's there. And this is one of those moments. For years and years and years, you had people talking about how bad the water situation was going to be out west. And nobody wanted to do anything about it. And now it's really visible. But in many cases, for a lot of the area, it's almost too late to really do anything. You have to wait for the environment to correct itself. And when it does that, it doesn't care about where the cities are, right? This is a similar situation. You have the people telling you this is going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. We have to start working now to stop it. The question is, do we have the will? Do we have the will to actually work to solve it before it becomes a headline-grabbing issue? I hope that we do. The U.S. actually has a pretty good record when it comes to we're going to work to bring this species back. We're going to work to fix this particular conservation issue. They can do it. The U.S. has actually proven itself capable of doing it if the funding is there, if the resources are there, if the will is there. In fact, I'll put a little cartoon down below that talks about how it was done with the Mexican gray wolf in the United States. But this is a moment. This is an opportunity where it's back in the Senate. If we don't take the opportunity, if we don't start to address this now, it will be regretted later. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.